If your company needs better marketing, you're probably weighing your options. And the two that come up the most are hiring a marketing agency or bringing in fractional marketing. On the surface, they can look similar. Both are outside help, both cost less than a full in-house team. But they're fundamentally different things, and choosing the wrong one in your situation is an expensive mistake. So in this video, I'm going to break down fractional marketing versus an agency, what each is, the core difference in what they deliver, how they compare on cost, control, and accountability, and exactly when each is the right call. I'll also clear up where freelancers and marketing consultants fit in, since they get lumped into this too. By the end, you'll know precisely which model fits your business. Let's get into it. Let's quickly define both so that we're comparing the right things. An agency is an external company you hire to execute marketing work. You bring them a need, run our ads, build our website, produce our content, and their team delivers that from the outside. They're a vendor, they're capable, but they're external to your business. Fractional marketing is different. It's senior marketing leadership brought inside your company on a part-time flexible basis. Instead of a full-time $200,000 marketing executive, you engage an experienced leader for, say, 1 or 2 days a week. You embed them in your own team. They own the strategy and they're accountable for your results. So right away, you can see the shape of the difference. An agency is an outside vendor you hand work to. Fractional marketing is the inside leader who owns the direction. And to be fair, neither is better in the abstract. A great agency is enormously valuable, and so is a great fractional leader. They just solve different problems. The mistake isn't choosing one over the other, it's choosing the one that doesn't match with what your business is actually missing. So as we go, keep asking yourself one question. Is my real gap execution, or is it strategy and leadership? Your honest answer is the whole decision. Here's the core difference, and almost everything else flows from this. An agency gives you execution. Fractional marketing gives you leadership. An agency is brilliant at the work, but they're generally executing the plan you bring them. If your strategy is sound, a great agency makes it happen at scale. But if your strategy is wrong, or you don't really have one, an agency will happily execute the flawed plan all day long and bill you for it. Because setting your strategy isn't their job. And more importantly, they're not sitting in on your leadership conversations to know any better. A fractional marketing leader operates a level up. Their entire job is to figure out what should be done and why. The strategy, the positioning, the priorities, and then direct the execution, whether that's your in-house team, your freelancers, or yes, an agency. And here's the part most people miss. It's not always an either or. A fractional CMO will often hire and manage an agency on your behalf, giving them the strategy and accountability they were missing. The leader sets the direction. The agency is the one set of hands that carries it out. They're not competitors. They just sit at different layers. And this matters even more with AI. A lot of founders assume tools like ChatGPT can handle the strategy and an agency can handle the rest. But AI on its own, it produces generic, watered-down strategy that looks like every competitor's. And then the agency executes it just the same. The senior judgment that decides what to do and why is exactly the layer neither a tool nor a typical agency provides. That's the layer fractional marketing fills. So let's compare them head to head on 3 things you actually care about: cost, control, and accountability. On cost, they're closer than you'd think, just structured differently. An agency bills a monthly for a defined scope of execution. A fractional leader bills a retainer for strategic leadership. Neither carries the $250,000 burden of a full-time executive, which is why both exist. And a cheap agency retainer, it can be deceptive. If it's executing the wrong strategy, every dollar is wasted, no matter how low the fee. Whereas a slightly higher fractional retainer that fixes your strategy makes your entire marketing spend more efficient. So compare on value, not just the invoice. On control, they diverge sharply. With an agency, you have limited control over the strategic direction. You're at the mercy of their process, their priorities, and how many other clients they're juggling. With a fractional leader, you have an embedded executive who answers to you, sits in your meetings, and steers the direction directly. And on accountability, this is a big one. An agency is accountable for deliverables. Did the campaign ship? Did the website launch? Was the report sent? A fractional marketing leader is accountable for outcomes. Did the pipeline grow? Did revenue move? When something isn't working, an agency points to the deliverables they've completed. A fractional leader owns the number because owning the number is the entire job. So here's what you get. The agency gives execution of defined work. The fractional leader gives senior level strategy and leadership. So where they sit, agency is external, fractional is embedded. So what do they own? The agency owns the deliverables, the fractional leader owns the outcomes and the strategy itself. And on control, the agency is limited and process driven. With a fractional leader, it's direct and embedded. And the best use, the agency is great when your strategy is clear and you just need horsepower. You need a fractional when you need someone to set the strategy and lead the team. Because the agency is a powerful set of hands. The fractional leader is the head that directs them. So let me quickly place the other two options people lump into this because you've probably considered them. Freelancers and marketing consultants. A freelancer is a specialist for hire, a great paid ads person, a great copywriter. Their execution, like an agency, just more granular and usually cheaper. Perfect when you have a clear plan and one specific gap to fill. But they won't set your strategy or lead your function. A marketing consultant is closer to a fractional, but with one key difference. A marketing consultant typically advises and then leaves. Execution is your problem. A fractional marketing leader doesn't just advise. They'll stay embedded and they own the execution, but most importantly, they own the results right alongside of you. So if you line up all four on a spectrum from pure execution to pure leadership, freelancers and agencies on the execution end, consultants in the middle, advisors in the middle, and fractional marketing firmly on the leadership plus ownership end. Knowing where each sits is how you pick the one that matches your gap. And one more option worth naming, a junior in-house hire. A coordinator or specialist on your payroll is execution too. Capable hands, but they can't set strategy or lead the function any more than a freelancer can. So whether execution is in-house or outsourced, the strategic leadership gap is the same one fractional marketing fills. So here's the verdict, when each one is the right call. Choose your agency when your strategy is clear and you need execution muscle. You know what you want done, you just need a capable team to do it at scale. Choose a freelancer when you have a clear plan and one specific narrow gap to fill. And choose fractional marketing when the thing you're actually missing is strategy and leadership itself. When marketing is happening with fits and starts, with no senior brain leading it, you need someone accountable for the outcome, not just the deliverables. And here's the most honest pattern growing companies discover. They hire an agency first, they get frustrated that the results don't come, and only then they realize it was never about execution. It was that no one senior was directing it. And it's not always an either or. The smartest setup is often a fractional leader who owns the strategy and manages the agency that executes it. You get the head and the hands, each doing what it does best. So now you can see the real difference. An agency executes campaigns from the outside. Fractional marketing gives you an embedded senior leader who owns the strategy and the outcomes. Two different tools for two different jobs. If you've landed on fractional, specifically a fractional CMO, then the natural next question is, are you actually ready to make that hire? And how would you know? I walk through this exact decision in the next video. Should I hire a fractional CMO? Go watch that one next and you'll know precisely where you stand.